Imagine a boy named An, a self-proclaimed master of procrastination. An's days drifted by in a haze of comfort. Endless scrolling on his phone, video games late into the night, and a daily mantra of "I'll start tomorrow." He wasn't failing exactly, but he never seemed to move forward. His homework was always last minute, his room perpetually messy, and his dreams perpetually postponed. Like many, An believed that real change required grand gestures or sudden bursts of motivation. But what he didn't know was that the smallest of habits, repeated consistently, held a power far greater than any single act of willpower. One day, after another lecture about his slipping grades and lack of initiative, An stumbled upon a book that would quietly change everything. Atomic Habits by James Clear. The message was simple, yet revolutionary. Massive success does not require massive action. Instead, it's the tiny, almost invisible habits compounded over time that lead to remarkable results. Clear's words echoed in An's mind. You do not rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. At first, An was skeptical. How could something as mundane as making his bed or reading a page a day possibly change anything? But he decided to experiment, starting with the smallest, laziest action he could think of. Each morning, upon waking, he would put his phone across the room. That's it. No grand morning routine, no cold showers, just a minor inconvenience separating him from his favorite distraction. Surprisingly, this tiny shift triggered a ripple effect. Without his phone within arm's reach, An found himself getting out of bed just a little bit earlier. Standing up, he figured he might as well straighten his blanket. That small act led to him picking up dirty clothes from the floor. Just a few at first, then a bit more each day. Over time, An began to notice that his room looked tidier, and he felt just a little more focused. Encouraged by this progress, he tried something new. Remembering the habit loop described by Charles Duhigg in The Power of Habit. Cue, routine, reward, and set a rule. After brushing his teeth, he would read one page of a book. At first, it seemed pointless, but the cue was clear, and the reward, checking a box on his habit tracker, gave him a quiet sense of accomplishment. One page became 2, then 5. Within a month, he'd finished a book for the first time in years. An's small habits began to compound. He started to apply the idea of keystone habits, the ones that trigger a cascade of positive change. For An, keeping his desk clear was a keystone. When his workspace was tidy, it was easier to sit down and start his homework, even if it was just for 5 minutes. 5 minutes often stretched into 15, and the anxiety he once felt about his assignments started to fade. The results weren't instant, but they were unmistakable. An's grades improved, not because he suddenly became a genius, but because he stopped falling behind. He felt more in control of his day, less overwhelmed by the chaos he used to accept as normal. The lazy boy who once waited for motivation to strike had become someone who moved forward, inch by inch, through the quiet power of routine. An's story is a testament to the surprising power of small habits. As James Clear's book continues to top bestseller lists and inspire millions, it's clear that the true magic lies in consistency, not intensity. Just as organizations like Alcoa and Starbucks have transformed through small, deliberate actions, so too can individuals like An. The secret isn't in waiting for a perfect moment or a surge of inspiration. It's about building systems that support the person you want to become, one tiny habit at a time. And sometimes, all it takes is putting your phone just out of reach.